Looking back, it would have been probably smarter to have used two devices, but I have absolute confidence that everything that could be in any way connected to work is now in the possession of the State Department.
So what could possibly be wrong with a high-powered American politician keeping a bunch of simple little emails on a private server that is under lock, key, and guard every second of the day and thus could in no way be hacked or threaten American security? Don't you just love these easy questions? Welcome back to MidPoint. Former Assistant Secretary for Policy at the Department of Homeland Security, now part of the international law firm Steptoe & Johnson in Washington, D.C., Stewart Baker. Stewart, good to see you again.
Great to be here.
Here's those easy questions. Come on, Stewart. It was a private server kept on a home in New York. I've got Secret Service everywhere. No one can touch it. Impossible to be hacked. How am I doing so far?
Well, look, those guns are not going to help at all if somebody hacks that computer. And that's a very real risk. I think given the amount of attention that someone like the Secretary of State of the United States gets from intelligence agencies, it's sort of hard to believe that many very sophisticated intelligence agencies didn't take a whack at that server. And frankly, I don't have a lot of confidence, and she hasn't provided a lot of reason to believe that the defenses that she had on that thing were equal to the task.
Well, let's just take that for a second there. Let's just say that Mrs. Clinton had something, whatever, software, whatever. Maybe she had, a human being standing there with a laser pistol or something, waiting to see if anything came down the internet line. But what could she have done? I mean, seriously, isn't it possible that she could have had enough security there to keep it secure as possible? Or am I just kind of like walking down a really bad road right now?
I think it would be very hard to do that because many of the things that people do to watch for or prevent intrusions are enormously expensive. For example, it's very hard to know when incoming emails might contain malware because as soon as the antivirus software can identify the malware, it is tweaked so it doesn't quite look the same. In fact, it may be tweaked differently for every single user. So you can't just run antivirus and be comfortable that you're not going to be hacked. You actually have to have a set of machines in front of your email server that will actually open every single one of the attachments to see if in a virtual machine to see if they do anything unusual. I'm quite confident she didn't spend $1 million or whatever it would cost to adopt such a technique to protect her server.
Yeah, last time I checked, the really good hackers have been completely able to knock out McAfee and all the rest rather easily. About a minute and a half or so that we have left here is the biggest question here and the biggest problem. Is it possible that she left the State Department, the President's office, and that so many other people down the line open to a hack or a cyber attack simply by not protecting herself and using that State Department server?
Yes, but it's not quite as bad as that might suggest.
Okay.
She enabled people to create very plausible spoof email containing malware that could have compromised those systems. But if her system was compromised, it wouldn't necessarily compromise anybody else's system.
Is it possible, and boy, I know I'm always asking the possibilities here, but is it possible that Secretary Clinton has already been hacked and she just doesn't know it?
Oh, yes. So most people don't know it. They're hacked for months before they figure it out.
So there is a possibility, and again, people are going to say that all of a sudden we're getting too deep into the conspiracy theorists here, but it's possible that there is information floating out there that even she's not aware, or that maybe somebody's aware that's out there, they just don't want to admit it yet.
I think it's highly likely that she didn't know it. She says there's no evidence that she was hacked, but it is still quite possible that she was hacked and just is not aware of it. I guess the good news is it's possible that if she really needs all of those emails, she'll be able to get them from the North Koreans or the Israelis.
Okay. Well, the next person we have, I'm going to have you on. We'll get Kim Jong-un here on the show, and we'll get the three of us together and we'll talk about that. Stewart, what a great idea. Thanks so much for joining us, Stewart. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, take care. Head for the Rockies in a few words with radio talker and former FEMA boss Michael Brown. And before we close shop today, the truth about how creatures from other worlds may be judging us has nothing to do with Kim Jong-un. We're next.